It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Woo-woo-woo. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary, hosted by me, Spencer. It's the podcast where I read the dictionary and I talk to you about it. Okay, we are finishing the GI section and we are starting the GL section. And honestly, that's going to go on for a while. There's a lot of GL words. It's going to go all the way over to here. Oh, there's the word gluteus. GL, so what is it? 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page. It's like 4.5 pages. That's not too small. Okay, let's start. Let's do that. Oh, I should say, because, this is my platform to say things. I have back problems. I have back and hip problems. My back went out like 4 days ago. I was lifting a thing and it went boop and it said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, hey, oh no, what's that pain?" And it's been getting better the last few days, but it's still, I gotta be slow and careful. And you know what? I guess I'm just old now. I think I'm just an old man hobbling around. I gotta walk all slow. I need a walker, maybe. I should get a walker. All right, let's talk about this word. Ooh, I like this word. It's the word gizmo. Gizmo. You could also spell it with an S instead of a Z. Would you pronounce it gizmo? Who is spelling it with an S? Who is doing that? I need to know. This is a noun from 1943. The synonym is gadget. It's just a thing. You got a gadget? Do I have any gadgets in here? I think I probably do. I have a musical electronic thing over there, which I've barely touched. That was some money well spent. I would call that a gizmo. There's probably a bunch of other gizmos in here. Are my the model of my teeth when I got a thing made? Is this a gizmo? Clack, clack, clack. No, I don't think that could be a gizmo. Anyway, any sort of gadget, but I do like this word. And what makes me sad is that the origin is unknown, but it's from 1943. So, of course, that immediately makes me think of World War II, and maybe somebody during World War II times, some war thing, they were like, gizmo? It's a gizmo. And also, actually, that's funny. Gizmo is the name of the character in Gremlins, right? And his dad, there's that website Gizmodo. I get their emails. The dad also makes gizmos. He's an inventor. So is that why this character was called Gizmo? What's the etymology of him? There's a question. Is Gizmo a gremlin or a mogwai? That's a good question. Gizmo is the name of the little furry critter known as mogwai, which in Cantonese means monster. Gizmo was sold to Randall Peltzer, a struggling inventor, as a Christmas present for his son Billy. All right. Oh, Gizmo, he's one of the cutest things ever on the face of the earth. What sort of sound effect should I make? Would it be he's very high pitched. He's like, would that be my sound effect? Sure, why not? All right, now we have gizzard. Gizzard, noun from 1565. I just bought some food for my cat yesterday, and I think one of them, I was like, I'm going to try some new ones. And one of them was like chicken and gizzards. I think gizzards was in there, or it could have been giblets. One of those. So what is gizzard? Number 1A, it is the muscular enlargement of the alimentary canal of birds that has usually thick muscular walls and a tough horny lining for grinding the food, and when the crop is present, follows it, and the proventriculus. Wow, that was an interesting definition. The muscular enlargement, it's a noun. I think of the enlargement being a verb, but I guess you could call it an enlargement. The muscular enlargement of the alimentary canal of birds that has usually thick muscular walls and a tough horny lining for grinding the food, And when the crop is present, I don't understand. And when the crop is present, follows it and the proventriculus. I think I am reading this all wrong. I think there is something in my brain that is not tracking. But basically, it's a thing in birds that's going to help to break down the food. I guess 1B is a thickened part of the alimentary canal in some animals. Examples would be insects and earthworms. And that is, it is similar in function to the crop of a bird. And I think that's part of the problem, is that the word crop is confusing me because, of course, I think of crops as in what you are farming, but birds have a crop, and a crop is, I will tell you shortly when I find the page that the word crop is on, not croup, that one's there. Crop, not crop circle, back a page. Oh, lots of definitions for crop. A pouched enlargement of the gullet of many birds that serves as a receptacle for food and for its preliminary maceration. That's before chewing? Okay, so yes, it's a thing that's going to hold the food. That is the crop. And then we got number 2. The synonym is just innards. That's kind of what I think of the gizzards. Just all the innards, the gizzards, the innards and the gizzards inside of an animal, inside of a living thing. They are the innards and the gizzards. Okay, where did this word come from? It's from Middle English gizer, which means gizzard or liver. From Anglo-French gizer, from the Latin gigaria, which means giblets. Oh, yes, the giblets and the gizzards are pretty much the same. There's just all this stuff inside of here. All of these things inside of your area. Your area. The gizzards and the innards. Now, that was the last GI word, of course. It's a GIZ. That's the end of the alphabet. So now we move on to the word glabella. Glabella, Glabella. Noun from circa 1823. It is the smooth prominence between the eyebrows. Whoa, I didn't know that part had a name. The glabella. Glabeller, that is an adjective. So when are you using this as an adjective? The glabella, because it's about a very specific thing. Right here. Sometimes I get a hair that grows very, very long right there, and I think that's not too uncommon. The smooth prominence between the eyebrows, just right there in the middle. It's where your nose and your eyebrows meet. It's that T zone right there, the center of that. The glabella. Okay, this word is from, from Latin, the feminine version of the word glabellus. Why are we using glabella instead of glabellus? Well, glabellus means hairless, diminutive of glaber. I don't know, maybe people are like, hairless, women have less hair than men, so that's why it's the feminine. But you know what, to be honest, that part of your body, this part right here between your eyebrows, it's usually hairless. But I think for a lot of people, it's not hairless. There's at least some peach fuzz, and sometimes it's just one eyebrow that goes all the way across. So do you not have a glabella if it's not hairless? Maybe a glabella is required to be hairless. Mine's not. I gotta pluck it sometimes. Now we have glabrous, Glabrous, adjective from 1640. The synonym is smooth. You can see that there's a connection to glabella with all this hairless talk. But we have more. It says, especially having a surface without hairs or projections. Examples would be glabrous skin and also glabrous leaves. Those leaves have no hair and no projections. They're smooth to the touch, just like my booty. It's so glabrous. I got a glabrous booty. Not really. I think it's got some hairs. I'm an adult man. It has some hairs, okay? Deal with deal with my non-glabrous booty. What's your booty like? Is it glabrous or not? All right. Am I saying this word correctly? Yes, I think I am. There are parts of me that are glabrous. The palms of my hand have no hairs or projections. My fingers. But there is a little bit of hair right here on this first part, and that's got some hairs. And the back of my hand has got a little bit of hairs, but my arms and legs, they are not glabrous. They have hair. It's a lighter color. Up here, there's no hair. Yeah, I'm slightly glabrous. Okay, this word is from the Latin glabere, which means smooth or bald. And there is more at the word glad. That's interesting. Glad? I hope that, my forehead is pretty glabrous. I hope that the top of my head and the back are never glabrous. I hope that I always have hair. But if you know what? If it goes away, I'm shaving it. I'm going glabrous. Are you glabrous? Are you going glabrous? I think if you're going bald, just glabrous it up. Be all glabrous. Now we have the word glacé. I think it's more like glacé. Glace, and there's an accent on the E, which is the acute accent. It goes whoop. Glacé is an adjective from 1845, number 1, made or finished so as to have a smooth, glossy surface, as in glacé, silk. That's silk. I think all silk is probably glacé. And then we have number 2. So this has an additional pronunciation, which would be glacéd. So we have added an ed at the end. You're saying something is glacéd because it is coated with a glaze. That's the definition. Coated with a glaze. Glacé, glaze. Glacé, glaze. The synonym is, candied. Like maybe some candied pecans. Those pecans are glacéd because you put a glaze on them, and then it's candy. We have another example, glacéd cherries or glacé cherries. So, I would like some cherries with a glaze. This word is French, from the verb glacer, which means to freeze or to ice or to glaze. The glaze one, obviously, is the one that makes the most sense here. But all of those, glaze, ice, freeze. That's pretty much it for the etymology. So if you are coating yourself in a glaze, you are glacéing yourself, and you are now glacé. Maybe when you are going to get glabrous, if you go to a place to be waxed, they will put a glacé on you. They will glaze you with wax, and then they will put the thing on it, and then they will pull it off, and then you'll be glabrous. Now we have glacial. Glacial. This is an adjective from 1656. Number 1, suggestive of ice. Is it suggesting ice? Then it's glacial. We will learn more about this, so much more. There's some sub-definitions. For 1, we have now 1A, extremely cold. The synonym is frigid, and the example is a glacial wind. Yesterday when I left the house, it felt glacial out there. I was like, we've been having some warm days, and then all of a sudden I feel this glacial cold, glacial wind, and I'm like, I don't like this. Please, we can go into slightly warmer weather. 1B, devoid of warmth and cordiality. We're probably talking about a person here. The example is a glacial handshake. I don't like a glacial handshake. It's cold. There's no warmth, no cordiality, no, hey, how you doing? It's just like, this is a very strict, practical handshake. I am just shaking your hand because I am required to, but I have no warmth and no cordiality, so this handshake is over. Thank you and goodbye. 1C, coldly imperturbable. Coldly imperturbable. That is a fantastic word. The example is maintained a glacial calm. A glacial calm. You cannot perturb the cold. Imperturbable. Whew. Number 2, of a purity marked by the tendency to readily solidify in the form of ice-like crystals. I think you probably see a pattern with all of this coldy, icy talk. The example is glacial acetic acid. So that acetic acid is of a purity marked by the tendency to readily solidify in the form of ice-like crystals. It can very easily turn into crystals that are like ice. I think, is that what it's saying? Sure. 3A1. Where's this? Of relating to or being any of those parts of geologic time from Precambrian onward, when a much larger portion of the Earth was covered by glaciers than at present. Okay, so that was a kind of a long way to say that right now we don't have so many glaciers, but in the past, between the Precambrian time and later, meaning closer to now, that we are calling that time the glacial time because there were more glaciers on the Earth than there are now. In fact, I believe that the Great Lakes were formed by glaciers, and the area that I'm in the Midwest, it was all glaciers. So many glaciers as far as the eye could see, and that's why the woolly mammoths, I believe, were hanging out at that time, and that's why they were woolly, because they needed to keep warm because of all of the glacial winds. Well, relatedly, we have 3A2. You would capitalize glacial here. The synonym is Pleistocene. So that is a very specific time. We had that whole geologic timetable. And the Pleistocene, where would that be? Where's the Pleistocene? It's somewhere in here, I think, somewhere. I don't know. I can't find it. Why aren't you showing it to me? All right, forget it. It's the glacial time period. 3B, of relating to or produced by glaciers. If something is somehow related, produced by glaciers somehow, don't worry, we're going to talk about glaciers. Then it would be glacial. We could say we have some glacial lakes because they were produced by glaciers. 3C, suggestive of the very slow movement of glaciers. The example is progress on the bill has been glacial. It's so slow. It's as if it were created by glaciers, which move so slowly. How slowly? Well, we'll look that up maybe when we talk about glaciers. But to remind myself, I will put it in the search. How slowly do glaciers move? Autofill. Yeah, let's just talk about it now. That's fine. Glaciers typically move at speeds ranging from a few centimeters per day or several meters per day, while many move slowly, a few meters per year. Faster glaciers can travel tens of kilometers annually near continental ridges. Some surge rapidly, reaching speeds over 40 meters a day. Well, that is some fascinating information. A few centimeters per day. So if we do a few centimeters per day times 365, what is that? So that would be probably quite a few meters, right? I can't do math right now. I can't do math. I have to talk about words. Glacially, that is an adverb. Well, we can say that this podcast is moving glacially. It has a glacial speed because it's going to take years. I think glaciers move more quickly than my podcast. Okay, well, we're going to get some more etymology, I think, in a different word. Yeah, so let's move on then to... Now we have the word glaciate. Glaciate or glaciate verb from circa 1623. It is only transitive. Number 1, the synonym is freeze. So if you are glaciating something, you are freezing it. Maybe if I took this glass of water, be very careful, don't spill it on the electronics. If I put this glass of water into the freezer, I would be glaciating it, and then the glass might break because the water would freeze and it expands, and then the glass is like, "You're too strong for me, ice. Ice, you're too strong for me. I cannot keep you contained." Okay, so then we move on to 2A for glaciate. It is to subject to glacial action, also to produce glacial effects in or on. To subject to glacial action, to produce glacial effects in or on. So you are glaciating something by putting some slow effects on it. Maybe when you shoot slow motion, you are glaciating the action. To be, to cover with a glacier. So the weather, the climate, many years ago, glaciated the Earth because it covered the Earth, or at least a lot of it, in glaciers. Glaciation or glaciation, that is a noun. And we still don't have etymology because we haven't talked about the word that these words are based on, which is our next entry. It's the word glacier, or also glazier, or also the British people like to say either glacier or glacier. Either one of those. British people, do I have that correctly? Which do you prefer, glacier or glacier? We, here in America, the good old America that never does anything wrong, we say glacier. So this is a noun from 1744. It is a large body of ice moving slowly down a slope or valley or spreading outward on a land surface. It's just so much ice, and as it moves, it's cutting into the earth because it's so icy and strong and rough, and it's picking up things. Okay, so this word comes from. Where does it come from? It comes from Middle French dialect, specifically the Franco-Provençal region dialect. From the word glace, the French glace, which means ice, from the Latin glacius. It is akin to the Latin word gelu or gelu, which means frost, and there's more at the word cold. And of course, then we also can go back to our previous word, glacé, which was all about freezing and icing and glazing. Maybe when you put the glaze on it, it looks like it's frozen, maybe. And so it's all related. These words are all related. Maybe they'll have a family reunion. So that's glacier. It's just all about cold and ice. And I hiked on a glacier once. We went to visit Iceland, and there was one thing that we had bought tickets for, where you take a kayak into a lake, and then you can there's some glaciers at the other end of the lake, and then you can walk on them, and there's a tour guide, and they're telling you what to do and what not to do, and they're teaching you all about the glaciers, and there's tubes, and you don't want to go in the tubes because then you're never going to come out again, and so you got to be very careful. Got to be very careful when you're on glaciers or glaciers. Glaciers, walking on my glaciers. You gotta have good boots when you're walking on glaciers. Now we have glaciology or glaciology. Hey, Allie Ward on the podcast Ologies, why don't you have a glaciologist on your podcast? So glaciology is a noun from 1889. It is any of the branches of science dealing with snow or ice accumulation, glaciation, or glacial epochs. Those are the time periods of Earth that had a whole bunch of glaciers. The Earth was like, I'm covered in glaciers. Study me. All right. So yeah, scientists, the study of all of these snow and ice accumulating and doing all their glacial stuff. Glaciological, that is an adjective. And of course, the word I said before, glaciologist, that is a noun. And now we're moving on to, is this related? Let's find out. We have the word glacis or glassy. Glassy or glacis, but here's the thing, I have to spell it. Glacis. You don't pronounce the S. Glacis. This is a noun from 1672. Number 1A. It's a gentle slope. The synonym is incline. So just a gradual incline. Bloop, 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 bloop. You set your treadmill to incline 1, and you're just going up a gentle glacis. 1B. A slope that runs downward from a fortification, like a castle, maybe. Number 2, the synonyms are buffer and state. But also, is it buffer state? I thought that was a comma there. Buffer state, but also the synonym buffer zone. When I don't remember what those are, it's some sort of area that's a buffer. We're going to the buffer zone. It's a slight incline. We call it a glacis. So, where does this word come from? It seems like it would be related to glacier somehow, and we know that glaciers tend to be on an inclining down. Gravity is pulling it down. And specifically, we can say that this word is French, from glacer, which means to freeze or slide. This word, because this is the same word that we had before, isn't it? Where is glacer? Yep, glacer, to freeze, to ice, to glaze, but also to slide. To slide, I like to slide. Okay, so that is glacis. It's all about sloping and inclining and buffers. All right, we have finished the freezing, icing, sloping words. And now we are moving to our very last word, which is the word glad, Glad. This is the first form. It's an adjective from before the 12th century. Number 1 is archaic, and it is having a cheerful or happy disposition by nature. Having a cheerful or happy disposition by nature. You are describing somebody maybe as glad. Oh, they are a glad person because they, by nature, just from their own nature, their own personality, they are cheerful or happy. And this doesn't really seem archaic to me, so maybe I'm missing something. 2A. Experiencing pleasure, joy, or delight. Also, made happy. Made happy. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. It doesn't work. You got to have the 2 syllables. All right, now we have 2B. Made pleased, satisfied, or grateful. This is often used with the word of, as in the example, was glad of their help. And I don't talk that way. Was glad of their help. I would probably say grateful. I was happy to have their help. I am made pleased, satisfied, or grateful when you helped out. Please and thank you. 2C. Very willing. Very willing. The example is glad to do it. Oh, I am glad I'm glad of your help. And then you can say, well, I was glad to do it. We are both so glad. We are glad twins. I am grateful. You are willing. 3A. Marked by, expressive of, or caused by happiness and joy, as in a glad shout. A glad shout? This shout was marked by happiness and joy, expressive of happiness and joy, caused by happiness and joy. Oh, something made me so happy that I shall go woohoo. That would be my glad shout. What's your glad shout? Send me an audio file of your glad shout, and I will listen to it, and maybe I will put it in an episode. Can't be in this episode. Too late. 3B. Causing happiness and joy. Are you seeing a pattern here? So much happiness and joy with this word glad. The synonym is pleasant. The example is glad tidings. So those tidings caused happiness and joy in me. Oh, look at all those tidings. Maybe at Christmas time, there might be some tidings. What are tidings? What are they? Tidings to you. What are tidings? Am I supposed to know this? They are news or information. Okay. So, yes. Oh, you come with good tidings. Come bring your glad tidings. These tidings are, they cause me happiness and joy. Ooh, can you have bad tidings? Also, a flock of magpies is a tiding? I guess so. Tidings can't be, if you come with news. If it's good news, it's tidings. But what if it's bad news? You can't call it tidings, because tidings specifically cause happiness and joy. Number 4, full of brightness and cheerfulness, as in a glad spring morning. Oh, the birds are chirping, the bees are buzzing, the buds are blooming. The buds are blooming, the bees are buzzing, the birds are bumping. That's what the birds are doing. They're bumping with the bees. The birds are bumping with the bees. Okay, gladly is an adverb and gladness is a noun. And so what was the word that we had before? It said there's more at the word glad. Where are you? Glabrous. Smooth and bald. There's more at the word glad, but maybe one of the other forms of glad is that one. But I don't know. I didn't see anything about being smooth and bald. I don't know. So the etymology for glad says it's Middle English. It means shining or glad. From Old English, akin to the Old High German glatt, which means shining and smooth. Okay, so yes, now we're seeing the etymology. Shining and smooth, and also the Latin glabere, which means smooth and bald. How did we get from that? Smooth, bald, shining. Maybe when your head is bald, it's shining. When you shine a light on it, it's like, bam, the light is popping off there. But then how did we get to happiness and joy, cheerfulness? Maybe it's the shining part? Like the person is shining when they're happy and glad? That one is interesting to me. There's also, I can't not think about the movie, the book, the story, The Shining. Could you call it The Glad? I don't think that would work so well. Okay, now I must pick a word of the episode. Today we had gizmo, gizzard, glabella, glabrous, glacé, glacial, glaciate, glacier, glaciology, glacis, and glad. Well, I kind of like the words gizmo and gizzard. I like a word with a Z or two. Let's see. Anything else? I do like being glad and happy. Oh, what was that line in Twin Peaks? Something, the glad hand. Gonna give. That's a phrase. Glad hand. There's glad handers, glad handing. Oh, give him the glad hand. That's a greet or welcome warmly or with the appearance of warmth. Shaking hands, maybe. Ooh, speaking of, what was that? We had that glacial handshake. That's the opposite of a glad hand. Give him the glad hand. I think that's, does Gordon Cole say that in Twin Peaks? Something like that. Okay, so which one am I picking? Which one am I picking? Which one am I picking? I'm picking a word to be the word of the episode. I'm picking one of them. I'm gonna pick this one. I'm gonna pick that one. I'm gonna pick gizzard. 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 What is happening? I got work to do. Gizzards, gizzards. We got gizzards in our insides. We got innards and gizzards. Innards and gizzards. That's fine. All right, I'm going to tell you about a movie. That movie is Undertone. We just saw this one not very long ago. It is, what to say about it? Well, I think you could call it a horror suspensey movie. And what's interesting is that there's really just one character. And you see another one, but they don't really do anything. They don't talk. Everybody else that the character talks to is just audio. And so it's this very like insular film that's really just in this house and what's sort of going on. And it's creepy, and they do a really good job with the audio to make it extra creepy, and the lighting and the shots. Ooh, they had to get very creative with all of their shots. And yeah, worth a watch, I think. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. It makes me very glad. I have so much happiness and joy when I see those numbers, and I'm like, yay. Maybe the glacial pace of my podcast is not deterring people away. No, I think it is. Anyway, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.